Anybody looking at me would say, oh, she's a wreck.
I had no idea Kendra was trying to cheat.
Welcome back, everyone, to more Girls Next Door. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we only have one episode left after today. Season 1 really flew by, like we just cracked open the Y2K vault and now we're already putting the lid back on. Rude. If you've been enjoying this podcast, do me a favor, rate it, review it, subscribe, send it to your friend who still says, "That's hot," unironically. Whatever it takes to let me know you want a season 2. Because I'll keep going, but I'd prefer not to be recapping 2006 alone in my kitchen. All right. Episode 14 of The Girls Next Door is titled Clueless, and it launched on November 27th, 2005. And from the Y2K vault, I want to talk about the split of Destiny's Child. In 2005, during the European leg of their Destiny Fulfilled and Loving It tour, Destiny's Child stunned fans by announcing they would disband following the tour's completion. No messy tabloid leak, no dramatic onstage meltdown. Just 3 grown women, Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams, standing confidently together and saying, "We've fulfilled our destiny." It felt like the end of an era. This wasn't just any girl group. Destiny's Child gave us Say My Name, Survivor, Independent Women. They were the soundtrack to learning your worth before you even knew what self-worth meant. They harmonized about bills, boundaries, and not accepting nonsense long before half of us had driver's licenses. By 2005, though, the writing was kind of on the wall. Beyoncé's solo career had exploded with Crazy in Love. Kelly had global hits. Michelle had found her lane in gospel. They weren't breaking up because they were fighting. They were evolving. It was like they collectively said, "We've done what we came here to do." What a way to go. Now, if everyone will kick off your candies, hang up your trucker hat, and silence your sidekicks, we'll get into Clueless.
Well, what you're looking at here is a part of my reinvention from 1959.
Fun.
When I became Mr. Playboy.
My name is Hugh Hefner. I'm 35 years of age, and I'm editor-publisher of Playboy magazine. I guess I'm the most successful man I know. Am I happy? I wouldn't trade places with anyone else in the world.
A vintage, white Mercedes-Benz 300 SL is parked in front of the Playboy mansion. Hugh Hefner stands beside it and explains its significance to his 1959 reinvention story. Black and white archival footage flashes across the screen of him driving the car, shifting gears while smoking a pipe. It was the beginning of Mr. Playboy, and the car was part of the persona. Now, decades later, Hef is chauffeured everywhere. The rebel driver has become the backseat passenger. The car sits idle, more relic than ride, until Holly feels summoned to wake it up. She's ready to fulfill that calling. There's only one problem. She doesn't know how to drive a manual automobile. Mansion employee Hank slides into the passenger seat to instruct her. Holly's a natural, and after 1 or 2 stalls, she's cruising in circles around the fountain like a preteen who's just stolen their father's Buick. Okay, that metaphor might have been a little too personal. Bridget cheers Holly on, and soon Hank is ejected from the 2-seater so the girls can take a quick joyride. Around the block is uneventful, but Los Angeles has hills, and even the mini mound leading up to the mansion provides a major obstacle for Holly. The undercarriage scrapes the pavement with a sound that makes every car lover's stomach drop. Hank runs down to coach them up the hill, and after one dramatic lurch, Holly guns it, and they make it.
Today is such a busy day. In the morning, we have a tennis tournament for Cedar Sinai, and then in the night, we have the murder mystery party for Bridget's birthday.
In interview, Kendra tells us it's a big day. She'll compete in a charity tennis tournament for Cedar Sinai that morning, and the evening will be Bridget's murder mystery birthday party. A professional event planning company is on the grounds dodging Bridget while coordinating and decorating for a clue-inspired scavenger hunt. But before a murder can be solved, money must be raised for a diabetes cure. So Kendra prepares to team up with tennis pros against her playmate pal, Destiny Davis, in a charity game on the mansion courts. Okay, quick pause for a mini "where are they now?" because Destiny has always been fascinating to me. Not your average blonde, she's striking, sharp, playful, slightly mysterious. Wait, maybe that is your average blonde, depending on who you ask. Not just a pretty face, though. She graduated high school early and later earned degrees from UNLV and Pepperdine. Brains behind the beauty. Anyway, post Girls Next Door, her name became publicly linked to Chad Eli. Not sure I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. Who the heck is that, I wondered. The heading that sent me spiraling read something like, "Facing 30 years in prison, poker Ponzi scheme processor marries buxom Playboy model day after arrest." Okay. So Chad Eli is known in the poker world for his involvement in the 2011 federal crackdown on online poker, often referred to as Black Friday, within the industry. He was charged in connection with facilitating unlawful internet gambling transactions and later pleaded guilty to illegal gambling operations. Eli received 5 months in prison, 2 years supervised probation, and a financial penalty as part of a plea agreement. The case marked a significant turning point in U.S. online poker regulation. It's true, Destiny Davis and Chad Eli married within 24 hours of the fits hitting the shan, so to speak, in a chapel reminiscent of the one that briefly united Britney Spears and Jason Alexander. Since then, Destiny pivoted away from entertainment and built a career in Las Vegas real estate, from mansion parties to property listings. Whether she and Eli remain married is unclear. Even her IMDb page dates her marriage from 2011 to ? What is clear is that while Destiny had a tumultuous public period, she's presently opted for a more private existence. Back to the episode, we learn professional tennis players, the Jensen brothers, will join Kendra and Destiny for the morning match.
When I first saw the Jensen brothers, I was thinking to myself, ooh, I hope they're playing with us. I was so excited. 2 hot guys, you know?
And Destiny Davis, give her a big round of applause.
The crowd loves us. The crowd loves us.
Destiny was nervous. I could see why she would be, because there's like millions of people out there watching us.
On my left, playing with Murphy Jensen, his partner, Hef's girlfriend, Kendra Wilkinson.
Then concentrate.
Kendra is in head-to-toe pink. Shorts, Playboy Bunny branded tank top, tube socks, and a Nike sweatband for a touch of serious. Like Elle Woods decided to go pro. She's paired up with Murphy Jensen. Destiny, in red, is partnered with Luke Jensen. Let the games begin. Less of a professional tennis match, the spectacle becomes more like a tennis comedy skit, with the brothers running up and down the court trying to swat the balls the girls keep hitting out of bounds. "Come on, Pink Panther, you can do it," Murphy yells at Kendra. The crowd laughs in unison. Kendra and Murphy take the win, but all in the name of charity, so there's no hard feelings. Except for Bridget's feelings. Hers were hurt over the charity tennis tournament. The behind-the-scenes tea goes like this. Bridget actually wanted to play in the tournament with Kendra, so she volunteered through Hef's longtime assistant, Mary. But when Mary got back to her, the message was not great. Apparently, Kendra didn't want Bridget participating because, and I quote, "It's Kendra's thing." Now, that explanation is almost unbelievable to me. If Kendra really didn't want Bridget involved, you'd think she'd come up with a better excuse than claiming exclusive ownership of charity tennis. I mean, how childish is that, right? Whatever the real reason was, Bridget gets left out yet again. And we all know how Bridget has a tendency to hold on to resentment when she feels excluded. But here's where it gets interesting. Bridget says she never actually brought it up to Kendra at the time. Not privately, not off camera, nothing. Instead, she waited months until the girls were filming the DVD commentary for this episode to finally mention it. And that's the moment where I realized Bridget's retelling was probably accurate. Because on camera with both Holly and Kendra sitting right there, Bridget casually drops that she'd wanted to pair up with Kendra for the tournament and was really disappointed she couldn't. Now, knowing where Bridget was going with it, the comment feels a little backhanded. And Kendra's reaction tells you everything you need to know. She doesn't defend herself, she doesn't explain, she doesn't argue. She just kind of shrugs and goes, A quiet grunt, total dismissal. When I first watched it, I thought, Kendra, girl, you cold. But at the same time, why does Bridget do this? If the tournament really bothered her that much, why not address it directly with Kendra months earlier off camera? Instead, she brings it up during filming, and suddenly it looks like she's trying to corner Kendra on television. So in the end, Bridget kind of winds up looking like the petty one. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do you agree that Bridget sometimes mishandles past conflict, almost reframing situations in a way that moves her from victim to villain? Like how she's shown a spotlight on her attempted sabotage of the girls testing for Playmate by constantly defending herself from episode 2. Got opinions? Let me hear them in the comments section. Back to the episode. While mansion staff prepare her party, white tablecloths, centerpieces, gold flatware, we follow Bridget to her hair and makeup appointments. Editors have inserted that Zydeco background music again. I just don't get it.
During the tennis tournament today, I started to get ready for my birthday party. So I wanted to look great and be the belle of the ball, so to speak. And it's a really busy day. I have the hair appointment and all the getting ready. It's just going to take all day.
Party attire is of the 1920s and 30s, and Kendra has bought a white flapper-style Leg Avenue dress. If you don't know, Leg Avenue is a lingerie, hosiery, and costume brand that basically sells prepackaged ensembles in tiny pantyhose boxes.
I dressed up as a flapper. I have no idea what a flapper is, but I dressed up as a flapper. all I know is they wear feathers in their hair. God! They smoke cigars. And they flap.
We check in on Holly, who is primping a short blonde pin curl wig. She wears a white sequin dress and sheer robe with fluffy sleeves. In the next scene, guests begin to arrive. Women in drop waists and feather headdresses, men in vests and mustaches. Bridget narrates that she invited mostly playmates, plus Hef's friends, her mother and her sister Anastasia, and Mary O'Connor and her husband, who everyone calls Captain Bob. That story will come back in a later season. As the grand hall fills, champagne platters circle the room while camera flashes click and buzz all around. Holly's voice cuts through the guests' chatter. "Yay, birthday girl," she announces, pointing toward the grand staircase. There, in red, full-length beaded gown and sparkling statement necklace, Bridget makes a grand entrance. Her signature long extensions have been coiffed into an elegant finger wave bob. She looks radiant, classic Hollywood with a dash of camp. It's her fantasy fully realized.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the Playboy staff, we welcome you. And Miss Bridget, because it is your birthday, we wanted to give you a little gift.
All of a sudden, the crack of thunder, lights flicker, a blood-curdling scream, and a butler lies motionless on the floor, a knife handle protruding from his back. Let the games begin again. "Oh my God, he's been killed!" alerts a dramatic actor in character. During dinner, we meet our mystery maitre d', who introduces himself as Detective Cliff Hanger. The guests are grouped into teams and given their alternate identities. Each team opens an envelope containing their first clue, and the mayhem commences. Clues have been hidden all around the mansion grounds, and these partygoers are nothing if not competitive. Especially Kendra, whose team is constantly chasing behind her with a view of her naked rear. As she runs, her Leg Avenue dress either slides below her breasts or hikes above her butt. It's quite comical, as Kendra couldn't care less. Winning is most important. Clothes, meh, she could take 'em or leave 'em. There's no doubt all are having a blast with the scavenger hunt.
I was so busy trying to figure out the mystery ourselves. They give you these clues. It's the place on the house that has its own motto, blah, blah, blah. It might be the grotto. Oh my God, the pet cemetery.
OMG, guys, those that have seen the episode, do you remember one of the clues saying the butler's a snitch? So Kendra cracks me up. Instead of logically inferring that the clue was referencing the butler playing dead on the floor with a knife in his back, she starts interrogating the other butlers, and she is 100% positive she's onto something. "Who did it? One of you's a snitch," she accuses a lineup of staff. It's one of those cases of Kendra not taking time to process before reacting. Anyway, little detour there because no matter how many times I've seen it, I always find myself shaking my head in disbelief while watching that part. Finally, with all clues gathered, each team convenes to try to solve the mystery. Who killed the butler? Amid the chaos, we see one of the actors whispering to Bridget, and then an interesting turn of events. Bridget pulls out a prop gun and a shootout occurs. To be honest, who stabbed the butler and why is unclear to me as a viewer. But the whole gag looked like a fantastic time, and Bridget is just beaming.
So, you turned out to be the killer on your own birthday.
The most special moment that happened that night was Hef walked over to me and said, "You look stunning in this party. I mean, I just can't believe how it's going. This is amazing." So to have his validation and his excitement with it was just awesome.
The episode concludes in a scene on Bridget's actual birthday where Hef throws her a private celebration during movie night. Cake, presents, a big wet kiss from Hef, and an emotional birthday girl.
So cute. Well, I cry at everything. I look like a basket case. I just get emotional when people go out of their way to do something for me, like all these presents and the cake.
Birthdays are a pretty big deal. Hef likes to celebrate the birthday and likes to make sure he has a birthday cake and a present for every girl. And we try and do something fun, make it special.
Hey, birthday girl!
The screen fades to black, and I, a bit of an armchair detective, recognize some subtle themes. Hef's vintage Mercedes represents reinvention and mythology, a man crafting an image that would define decades. Holly taking the wheel hints at transition and legacy, even if she's grinding the gears along the way. Kendra's charity tennis match shows the girlfriends balancing living in excess with giving back. And Bridget's elaborate murder mystery? That's pure escapism, her chance to be the star of her own perfectly themed universe. The episode isn't about who killed the butler. It's about who gets to be the main character, how they each go about claiming that role, and the constant act of reinventing yourself. Whether you're a 1950s publisher with a sports car, a playmate turned real estate agent, or a birthday girl staging her own cinematic fantasy. The lights dim, the mansion quiets, and somewhere in the garage, that 300 SL rests. Still a symbol, still a story, waiting for its next spin. And just like that, we have one episode left. If you've been enjoying this journey, I really want to hear from you. Reviews, comments, messages, all of it. Let me know if we're taking this into a season 2. Think you have something to add to the More Girls Next Door podcast? Whether you have tea, a hot take, a behind-the-scenes story, or you were actually there when it all went down, I want to hear from you. Fans, former cast, crew, industry insiders, or just someone who has thoughts. You're all invited. Head over to moregirlsnextdoor.com and submit a contact form. Tell me who you are, what you know, or what you've been dying to say for 20 years. Because let's be honest, the real story is never just what made it on camera. Tune in for the next episode, the finale. I'm so excited to wrap up this season together. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
The bricks.